As we continue our Crisis in the Classroom coverage, Fox Illinois is turning our attention to the upcoming consolidated general election on April 1st. School boards across the country have come under scrutiny for different policies and decisions, and Unit 4 is no exception. We're working for you to help you learn more about the candidates before you head to the polls. Joining me is Jarrel Young, one of the 11 school board candidates for Unit 4. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I'll start off with my first question. What inspired you to run for the school board, and what key issues do you plan to prioritize if elected?
Well, first and foremost, I'm born and raised right here in Champaign, Illinois, so I hold education dear to my heart. It's something that my parents have truly instilled in me since I was a youngin', since I was a jit. And I know with the crisis that's going on, especially with the school board and how things are going, it's a lot of conflict. It's a lot of it's real argumentative and things like that. But I'm a licensed social worker, and in my background, we are trained in mediation, trauma-informed care, and just being as equitable as possible, equity and inclusion. And with my social work background, that's what I plan on bringing to the table, is the fact that we need to refocus and shift our focus back to the task at hand, and the task at hand is the youth and families.
Okay. How do you plan to improve communication and transparency between the board, parents, teachers, and students?
Invite an all-inclusive environment and encourage collaboration. I'm huge on that. That's where we get the majority of our answers is from the people. We have to engage with the community, and with me being from here, I'm a familiar face. I see individuals all the time. They see me. I'm reachable. You can get in contact with me. I'm in the schools. I'm doing community-wide engagement and things like that. I attend a lot of events, games. So I just try to make it as personal as possible, and that therefore I've noticed that the overall turnaround in these type of situations, people are more receptive, and they enjoy the fact that, oh, I know that person right there. I can talk to him. I can talk to her, and that's what I try to bring to the table.
Given the recent controversies surrounding the current school board, what specific steps will you take to restore trust and bring stability to the district?
Well, first of all, we need to be able to all sit in the room and have a conversation. We can't even get past the fact that people have their own agendas set to the side, and there's a lot of conflict. We need to be able to resolve the conflict, address the task at hand, and then therefore we'll be able to start with some forward progression. But right now we're at a true standstill, and it actually affects not just the actual board itself, but it's affecting the entire district, from admin to teachers to support workers to, most importantly, our youth and families. So what I would try to do is I would try my hardest to make sure that we're as clear, honest, and transparent as possible. Once again, pushing for collaboration. I want everybody to have their voice heard.
Okay. What is one major issue you believe the current board has mishandled, and how would you approach it differently to ensure a better outcome for the community?
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It would have to come down to just how things are actually being approached. The board, as of right now, they are at such a standstill where it is affecting those individuals when it comes down to literacy. When I mean by individuals, I'm talking about the students. Excuse me. Speaking about the students, and we're looking at the literacy rates. We're looking at the data. That's a huge challenge right now. We even just dealt with a SPED audit and things like that. And with that social work background, I'm looking to highlight those things. Dig more into the data, looking at the trends and things like that, looking at the stats, and addressing those matters as they come about. And once they can be addressed, then therefore we can start setting up plans to better serve our youth and our families.
Many school districts are dealing with safety issues for both students and teachers. If elected, what do you plan to do to make sure our schools are safe?
I have a community gun violence background. I used to work for the City of Champaign's Community Gun Violence Reduction Blueprint. So having open dialogue and open conversation to address the traumas, the socioeconomic status, there's a lot that's within that onion. So you have to peel the layers back of that onion, right? We're looking at fatherless homes and things like that, a lot of the single parent households. How are we able to rebuild that parent and school partnership? Pushing for true engagement with our parents. That's another thing that we've been lacking as well, is our parent involvement. When it comes down to the safety, we need to have open dialogue, honest conversation, make sure that we break those barriers of communication, make sure that we're all on the same page, that we can protect every single student that walks through those doors from top to bottom.
Okay. And this is my last question for you. If elected, will you continue to support the anti-racism policy the district has put in place?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Racism, I remember that, I think the Unifor had even labeled it as like a health crisis, and you go back and look at the data, and you look at the curriculum, you look at the literacy levels. There are some systemic racism that is lined up in some of those old policies. So therefore, it's my job as a prospective school board member is to challenge that, ask those questions. Who's coming up with who's coming up with these questions? Who's making these assessments? Who's putting these things in place? What do they look like? Is it all inclusive? Does it benefit everyone? And what I mean by everyone, every child, black, brown, orange, blue, green, whatever the case may be. We need to make sure that it is equitable as possible for everyone from an even playing field.
Well, that's my last question for you.
That wasn't bad at all.
Well, I appreciate you for coming. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and be sure to watch more videos from Fox, Illinois.